Hello and welcome to my first attempt at a tutorial. What I'll be showing is how to create the panel look using Gimp. I will create a 5-panel look. Choice of number of panels and where you put them is up to you. Before I started, I picked the picture I was going to use and I moved that to my desktop so I can then drop it into Gimp there when I get going. So firstly I'm going to create my first layer, 1920 by that size. I'm going to use that. Make sure its background colour is white. And okie dokies, there's our first layer. Now let's create a second layer. We want this to be transparent. Okay. And our picture that we're going to use, let's drag that on in there. Now let's get the order right. The picture you want in the middle, transparent layer on top, background on the bottom. So let's go resize that one out a bit. Look what I'm doing. Alright, let's make that one not visible so we can see what we're doing with creating our panels. Okay, now I'm just going to do like a quick show of how to get it, so you got the basic steps on how to do it. If you wanted to really get into it, you could use the guides, so you know where you're positioning panels and you know where the spacing is right. Also, when you're setting up, you want to figure out the size. So 1920, how many panels you're going to put in there. So if I'm going to use 5, I divide that by 5, of course, and then make it a little bit smaller than that, so then I'm left with my spaces and whatever. But I'm just going to go with off the cuff type thing here. So first things first, let's create our 5 panels. So go up here to rectangle tool and bomb away, number 1. Looks okay. Now what we want to do is fill that with foreground colour, which it needs to be black actually, so let's just make that black. So foreground colour black. So we want to fill this with black, so using our hotkey or shortcuts is Control comma, and then we have 1. Drag that across. Control comma 2. Let's do this again. So we've got all 5 panels. Control comma. So you can see where select none. Where using the guides, it could help you, especially if you wanted to move, like have my panels higher and lower than each other. You can use it to so your spacing is right, and when you move the little rectangle, it will drop and sit on those guides, so it'll make it nice and neat and right spacings and everything. So let's go ahead and highlight our picture again. So what we want to do is we actually want to fit this picture we want to use into the shape of into the actual panels there, so we don't actually get anything chopped off. So I'm just going to hide that again. I'm going to get my little rectangle thing. So this will give me an idea of what size I want to scale that picture down to. So what do we got? We have got 1830 by 1180. Okay. So make that one visible again. Select none. So this one here we want to scale. Select our scale tool. Click on it. And it was 1180 by, I've forgotten it already. Let's just make it 1200. Okay, scaling away. Now we want to click on that, move the active layer. Let's drag him onto our squares. Haven't quite got the scaling right yet, so I'm going to scale it again. Drag him up so we can fit him on the squares. Scale that. It's a bit of messing about here. Probably people in the know would probably be able to finesse that a lot better than what I just did then. So alright, moving on. Now we've got that picture positioned over the squares. So let's click on the eye to hide this layer here. Go edit and copy visible. Make this layer visible again by clicking on the eye, right clicking on the layer alpha to selection, up to edit again, and then paste into. So there we go. So now this layer here, we want to anchor that pasted layer down onto your panels. And if you click the eye here on this original photo layer, you can see how it's now been fitted onto those panels. So you can go ahead and delete that layer because it's no longer needed. Go up, select none, and there you have your basic panel look. As you can tell, it's a quick one. Some gaps are bigger than others. Now you want to add a drop shadow in there. So filters, light and shadow, drop shadow. You can use that one. I prefer to use the FX Foundry script. I find they work a little bit better. So go down into your layer effects, drop shadow. Here you can mess with the settings and get them, whatever you like, a bit bigger or smaller and darker or lighter, and different layer effects here. I'm just going to leave it as standard so it's a good dark shadow. Okay, and there you have your drop shadow created underneath your panels. I'm going to merge that one down. Now with your background, you can either leave it white, or if you want to, you can change it, make it whatever colour you want. So if you just select your bucket fill, click on your foreground colour there, pick something that you like. So if I try to get something that will match my sunset colour there, hit the fill. There you go, that's in there. You can then play with your brightness and darkness or saturation as you need it. And there you have basic steps on how to create your panel look. Hopefully someone finds this useful and it's not too confusing on how to get it done. And thanks a lot for watching it.